We have 8 million plus Muslim Americans in this country, and I don't see them represented here. But my question is, how can we fight an ideological war with weapons?
Peaceful majority were irrelevant. So for all our powers of reasons and us talking about moderate and peaceful Muslims, I'm glad you're here. But where are the others speaking out? And since you are...
A young Muslim student stood up, thinking she could shame the panel with the usual, "Most Muslims are peaceful" line. Brigitte Gabriel didn't hesitate, delivering a cold, devastating reality check that left the student speechless and the room stunned. Her response cuts through years of polite denial and shows why the peaceful majority argument fails so badly every single time.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you all. My name is Saba Ahmed. I'm a law student at American University. I am here to ask you a simple question. I know that we portray Islam and all Muslims as bad, but there's 1.8 billion Muslim followers of Islam. We have 8 million plus Muslim Americans in this country, and I don't see them represented here. But my question is, how can we fight an ideological war with weapons? How can we ever end this war? The jihadist ideology that you talk about, it's an ideology. How can you ever win this thing if you don't address it ideologically?
The student asks how the West can fight an ideological war with weapons. She wants to focus on ideas, not force. On the surface, it sounds reasonable, but Brigitte Gabriel sees the deeper game. She knows the problem isn't just bombs, but the ideas that keep producing violence, oppression, and division. I respect the call for ideological battle, but it must be honest. Too often these conversations stay shallow because facing the actual doctrines feels too risky. The student's question opens the door, but the real answers are uncomfortable, and I don't think she's ready for them.
Well, I'm glad to see you're representing Muslims in this company. I don't want to speak for anybody else but myself, but I think I can say safely that there isn't anybody on this panel who thinks that all Muslims are the problem.
Right.
I certainly don't. What we have been trying to help people understand is the ideology, to use your term, the doctrine, if you will, the program, agenda. I don't know what the best way to describe Sharia is, but that's the default line, I think, between Muslims who are decidedly the problem because they believe it is Allah's will, God's will, to impose that program on everybody else, Muslim and non-Muslim alike, on the one hand. And on the other hand, you have lots of Muslims who don't follow that program, may not even know what it's.
Now, watch how the first speaker turns the conversation to the heart of the issue, the role of the so-called peaceful majority.
Don't speak Arabic, aren't imbued with the traditions of the faith as out of Saudi Arabia, for example. And they are not necessarily the problem, at least not yet. But what makes these policy things so important, it seems to me, and why it is imperative that we understand it, is not just that we don't know that we're fighting an ideological war against people who are absolutely convinced of the supremacy of their ideology, but because, as a practical matter, we're engaged in a situation that is becoming vastly worse, in part because we keep embracing people who are imbued with that ideology. This is why I come back to this idea of legitimating and engaging and funding and arming the Muslim Brotherhood. These are exponents of Sharia. It is part of their agenda very explicitly to impose it, as I say, on everyone else. So I thank you for the question, and I think we absolutely do need to deal with this as an ideological war, at least in part, or at least understand that the ideology that is driving the violent jihad on the one hand, and every bit as importantly, what the Muslim Brotherhood calls the civilization jihad on the other. Many in the government, if they're thinking about this at all, are focused on the sort of dangling, shiny object, dangerous as it.
He makes a clear distinction. Not all Muslims are the problem, but the ideology driving violence and supremacy is. As he vividly points out, many Muslims live peacefully, Yet a dangerous minority, backed by the core teachings of Islam, keeps causing violence. History shows again and again that peaceful majorities become irrelevant when radicals take control. The student represents that majority, but her presence alone doesn't solve the problem. Real change needs more than one moderate voice in a room. It needs millions rejecting the supremacist parts openly and loudly.
Of violent jihad. But they're missing entirely that other piece that I talked about in connection with Huma Abedin and others, which is the subversion, the not so much non-violent form of jihad as the pre-violent form of jihad, with which they hope ultimately to take us down just as surely as the others who embrace violent jihad seek to do. But at the end of the day, it is something that brings them together, whether it's ISIS, whether it's the Taliban, whether it's Al-Qaeda, whether it's the Muslim Brotherhood, whether it's dozens of others, is Sharia. And we do have to get that straight.
And just when it seemed the professor was out of point, Brigitte drops historical examples that make the room go quiet instantly, and the logic is hard to escape.
Great question. I am so glad you're here, and I am so glad you brought that up because it gives us an opportunity to answer. What I find so amazing is since the beginning of this panel, which we are here about Benghazi attack against our people, not one person mentioned Muslims. We are here against Islam, or we're launching war against Muslims. We are here to discuss how 4 Americans died and what our government is doing. We were not here to bash Muslims. You were the one who brought up the issue about most Muslims, not us. And since you brought it up, allow me to elaborate with my answer. There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25%, according to all intelligence services around the world. That leaves 75% of them peaceful people. But when you look at 15 to 25% of the world Muslim population, you're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization. That is as big of the United States. So why should we worry about the radicals, 15 to 25%? Because it is the radicals that kill. Because it is the radicals that behead and massacre. When you look throughout history, when you look at all the lessons of history, most Germans were peaceful. Yet the Nazis drove the agenda. And as a result, 60 million people died. Almost 14 million in concentration camps. 6 million were Jews. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Russia, most Russians were peaceful as well. Yet the Russians were able to kill 20 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at China, for example, most Chinese were peaceful as well. Yet the Chinese were able to kill 70 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant.
The same pattern appears with Islam today. 15% to 25% of the global Muslim population, 180-300 million people, supports radical ideas. That number equals the entire US population. The peaceful majority becomes irrelevant when the radicals set the direction. This is not hate, it is a cold historical reality. This part finally made them understand why most are peaceful. Doesn't fix anything. If anything, it creates a comfortable excuse for radicals to hide.
And prior to World War II, most Japanese were peaceful as well. Yet Japan was able to butcher its way across Southeast Asia, killing 12 million people, mostly killed with bayonets and shovels. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. On September 11th in the United States, we had 2.3 million Arab Muslims living in the United States. It took 19 hijackers, 19 radicals to bring America down to its knees, destroy the World Trade Center, attack the Pentagon, and kill almost 3,000 Americans that day. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. So for all our powers of reasons and us talking about moderate and peaceful Muslims, I'm glad you're here. But where are the others speaking out? And since you are the only Muslim representative, applause till the end. Thank you. Thank you. And Since you're the only Muslim representative in here, you took the limelight instead of speaking about why our government, and I assume, are you an American? You're an American citizen. So as an American citizen, you sat in this room, and instead of standing up and saying a question or asking something about our 4 Americans that died and what our government is doing to correct the problem, you stood there to make a point about peaceful, moderate Muslims. I wish you brought 10 with you to question about how we can hold our government responsible. It is time we take political correctness and throw it in the garbage where it belongs and stop calling it fair.
It's admirable how Brigitte praises the student for being there, but challenges her to bring more moderates next time. This is fair. Silence or weak condemnation from the majority allows the extremists to keep setting the tone. And when the student tries to push back, Brigitte's next point drives the nail deeper.
Comment. Thank you for your responses. And I do really hope that other Muslims will start showing up at these conservative forums. But, as a peaceful American Muslim, I would like to think that I'm not that irrelevant. I'm just as much an American, and I'm very deeply saddened about the lives that were lost in Libya. And I hope that we will find justice for their families. But I don't think that this war can ever be won by just the military. You have to you have to bring Muslims to the table to address this.
I think everyone agrees that it can't be won just militarily, and I think that everyone has said that. You tell me who the head of the Muslim peace movement is?
I guess it's me right now, so thank you.
Take note of the direct question Brigitte asked her. Where are the moderate voices speaking out loudly and consistently against the violence? The student is the only Muslim representative in the room. One voice in a panel is not enough when the problem affects millions. Western audiences are tired of hearing "not all Muslims" while the problems continue. Action and visible reform are more important than words. One thing about Brigitte Gabriel, she doesn't stop at one debate. She takes the fight straight into another heated moment on Hannity, where a young Muslim woman tries to defend her community.
Showdown.
If she is truly a moderate Muslim, she needs to stand up for women's rights. She needs to stand up for those who beat women, who kill women, who maim women, who genitally mutilate women. She needs to stand up and speak out about the kidnapping of the girls by Boko Haram that you are not speaking for. You are taking your place while you have access to the media, and you are here obviously because of your deception and lies and what you did at the Heritage Foundation, so you can point the light to the issue of the Islamic. And thank you so much for bringing that out. Use that opportunity to speak about where are the girls that were kidnapped by your own co-religionists. As a Muslim woman, it is...
Brigitte challenges the woman directly. She wants to know why moderate voices stay quiet when girls are kidnapped by Boko Haram, when women suffer violence, and when female genital mutilation continues. This question hits deep. The woman claims she has spoken out, but Brigitte pushes for more. When terrible things happen in the name of a faith, the peaceful majority must speak louder, because staying quiet only lets the bad actors keep setting the tone. The woman tries to defend herself and her work, but watch how Brigitte turns the focus back to real accountability.
I have been speaking out against Boko Haram kidnappings. We have been. And I just want to clarify one point. You mentioned about me being friends with the convicted terrorist. I've never even met him. I saw him once at the court. And I was a Muslim community spokesperson in Oregon. And obviously, a mosque burned down right after his arrest. So
the woman says she has always condemned such acts and feels unfairly targeted. The woman was deflecting instead of owning the problem. You see, when your community faces serious criticism, the strongest response is honest self-examination, not accusations of unfair targeting. The debate gets even more personal, as both women clash over loyalty and what real integration looks like.
That's beside the point. As a patriotic American, I use the opportunity that I have to shine the light about how I can protect my fellow American citizens, because I am an American first, and my loyalty is for this country. And anything happens to any American, I'm the first person to stand up, defend them, fight for them. You are not. Your loyalty is somewhere else. It's about time we see more patriotism from the Muslim community and less terrorism.
Brigitte, I'm an American, and I'd like you to defend me.
I defend people who are worth defending. I don't defend liars and deceivers. I defend patriots who love this country
I
and
don't
are
think
willing
it's
to put
fair
their
for you
lives
to
on the
be
line to protect it.
defaming me
You
and-
are not. Your loyalties are to defend a terrorist who wanted to blow up a Christmas tree lighting in Oregon and kill many Americans. Shame on you.
Brigitte, every defense lawyer has to defend somebody, okay? I don't think you've studied criminal law
You
too well.
are an
But
activist.
anyways,
You are far more
yeah,
than just
I
a
am,
defense
because
lawyer.
I am
You are an
concerned about
activist
the
with shady
Americans' national
friends
security
and shady character.
situation.
Let's take the gloves off and speak the truth, Saba. This
Okay, you don't
time,
have to
you're
scream at
dealing
me.
with
We can
Brigitte
talk
Gabriel. You're
politely.
not dealing with somebody timid that you can manipulate and talk over. Not
I
this
don't
time,
need to,
Saba.
but
People
you
like
seem-
you need to be put in their place. This is America.
Oh, really?
We love our
Put me
country
in
and
my
we will
place.
fight for our country and
I think
protect
you're the one who
her
needs
from
to be
people
put in place.
exactly like you and expose
God.
people exactly like you.
wow, Brigitte,
Yes.
you just sound very, very angry.
No,
I think you
I'm
need some
very
reality
passionate.
check.
I'm not
angry. I did want to make
Angry
a point.
is something
Ramadan's
completely
coming
different.
up, so please do visit a local mosque wherever you live. I hope you get to meet a few other Muslims besides me and learn some, meet some
I have
peaceful
a lot of
Muslims.
outstanding, wonderful Muslim friends.
Good,
Who
so go
are
talk to
very much
them.
different.
Notice how Brigitte questions the loyalty of parts of the Muslim community in America. Brigitte's demand for honesty is fair. Western countries have welcomed millions, but they also have the right to expect full loyalty to Western values, not divided loyalties.
Okay, well, but I'd love to meet you too. Let's meet up here. I think we need to talk to each other without screaming. And we
We're
hope
not
to-
screaming. We are talking passionately.
Now
That's
you're
very
calming
different.
down, but from the beginning you were very, very loud, and I don't know what was going on. But now you're starting to calm down,
Because
which is good.
I don't allow liars to speak over me because I put the truth
How
out.
dare you
I
call
will
me a
not let you
liar?
go unchallenged.
You are so mean. Did someone ever
What
tell
are we,
you?
children? I'm a terrorism
You're
analyst, darling. I
slandering me.
debate you. You're a lawyer.
How-
Meanness has nothing to do with logic. We're having a
Brigitte,
logical, factual conversation. So
you
let's
are
leave the little
slandering
girl
me
play that you're
for-
trying to pull aside. I'm a businesswoman. I don't play like
I know.
that.
I can see you're a businesswoman and you're using your whatever twisted logic to make profits off of Muslims.
No, I'm not making
I
profit
don't think that
off of
that's
Muslims
fair. I think you need to
whatsoever.
stop
As
it.
a matter of
No.
fact, I'm
No.
here. I'm not getting paid a dime.
A lot
I
of
feel
people have
privileged.
been-
I have the
a lot of
opportunity to
lives
set the
have been
record
lost.
straight when
Brigitte.
there are liars like you trying to put the lies out.
Brigitte, a lot of lives have been lost since 9/11 because of these
Correct.
fear tactics.
The woman accuses Brigitte of fearmongering for profit. Brigitte stays focused and says her mission is exposing deception. This clash highlights the bigger problem. Calling critics Islamophobes or haters has become an easy way to avoid hard questions. Brigitte refuses to play that game. She wants real conversation about terrorism, integration, and the failure of political correctness. I believe she is right. Sugarcoating problems have not made them disappear. It has only made them worse.
Don't play games, Saba. We
Brigitte.
are on national television. It's about time the Muslim community stands up, stop the lies, stop the political
I know, we
correctness,
need to stop
and
it.
start calling a spade a spade.
And that's why I want you to get your facts straight. I'm telling you
My
exactly
facts
what
are very straight.
Good people exist in every group, but good intentions alone cannot fix deep doctrinal and cultural problems. The reason Brigitte Gabriel keeps demanding honesty is because lives and freedoms are at stake. Her willingness to speak plainly, even when it makes people uncomfortable, is exactly what the West needs more of right now. Silence and deflection have failed. Truth and courage are the only way forward. Kindly like, subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for checking in.